if you take a look at the climate policy that Labour had to come out with conference just this year, that is a fairly good policy, fairly ambitious when it comes to electricity being generated from renewables. That's something which I would say is a good policy, and it wouldn't be the case that they were forced to come out with something like that had it not been from agitation by the extra parliamentary left, the strength of the climate movement, the relationship that Ed Miliband in particular has to that climate movement. So look, I'm not going to be one of those people who sits here and goes, well, because the Tories are so awful, what you do is you give up any right to be critical of Labour. And I'm not even saying that because the Tories are so awful, you have a moral obligation to vote Labour. I actually think that nobody is owed your vote and they should have to fucking work for it. But the thing I am saying is that I think there can be a little bit of defeatism where you look at all the ways of being punched in the head, very understandably, but you don't realize that they're doing it on ground that you've gained in the first place, if that makes sense.
We have already mentioned the hat on sale at Novara Media because we're coming up to Christmas. Before we move on to our next story, I'd like to talk about the new stock in the Novara merch store just in time, as I say, for Christmas. Now, we've got some new colorways of our t-shirts in the shop at the minute. If you fancy picking one up for you or a loved one or a friend, a family member, then you can head to shop.novaramedia.com.